Former US President Donald Trump has been struggling for an effective foothold amid growing support for Vice President Kamala Harris. From targeting racial identity, flinging insults to creating alternative realities, Trump has deployed some of his most trusted political tools. And in the latest, he has accused Harris of using AI technology to fabricate images of crowd size at her rallies. In a series of posts on Truth Social, Trump has said that his Democratic rival should be disqualified over an alleged fake crowd picture. Trump has referred to an image of a large crowd gathered on the tarmac in Michigan on August 7th. And in the pictures, people can be seen cheering for Harris as she stepped out of the aircraft. Trump's comments mirror a false conspiracy that is being spread online by MAGA Republican commentators, some of whom have previously been caught promoting misinformation. Harris's campaign has replied that it is an actual photo of a 15,000-person crowd for Harris, Tim Walz in Michigan. The former president has long been fixated on the number of people his campaign rallies draw, from vastly overinflating his 2017 inauguration to suggesting his January 6, 2021 rally was larger than Martin Luther King's 1963 and a Dream crowd. Trump has questioned Harris's racial identity at a conference for black journalists recently. In fact, he has gone on to mocking her IQ, calling her a threat to democracy.
And she happens to be really a low IQ individual. She really does. She has a very low IQ. We don't need a low IQ. President Xi of China said, oh, good, we have another one, a low IQ individual. They love dealing with low IQ.
Trump has even attacked Harris in personal terms and has criticized her for not doing interviews or major press conferences since she became the Democratic candidate.
If you can't do a press conference, you cannot be president, okay? That's it. She doesn't do anything. Remember when I used to always walk up to the press under the helicopter or under the wing of the plane and talk to them? I loved it because if I didn't like their question, I could say, I can't hear the helicopters. But they do many versions of it. Nobody ever did that before.
Remember, in the past 3 weeks, Harris has created a potential turning point. She has offered voters a burst of optimism with her statement that Americans don't want to go back to the chaos of Trump's term. While Harris may benefit voters' confidence, there are still 3 months to go. Trump remains a formidable political force and a vicious opponent, nevertheless. And to take this conversation further, we are being joined by John Potts from Boston. He's a professor of political science at Northeastern University. Professor Potts, good to see you yet again. Thank you so much for joining us here on WION. About 80 days to go for US elections. I want to ask you, who do you think has the advantage and is it here to stay?
Well, I think Harris has certainly developed some momentum here, quite significant momentum. Now, whether it's here to stay is another story, because that's, as you say, we're still about 3 months away from the election, and 3 months is a long time in politics. If you think 1 month ago, we were in a very different place, and now we have 3 months to go. So, but certainly, I think Harris has some momentum.
Right. Now, Donald Trump, it's not surprising to hear controversial statements coming from him, but lately the kind of comments he has been making against Kamala Harris, be that the racial attacks or the personal attacks or the latest one about her crowd being AI created. Do you think that Donald Trump is rattled at the moment? Is that where the comments are coming from?
Well, to some degree, I suppose he's kind of striking back, and often the way he strikes back is around individuals and personalities, characteristics of individuals. I'm sure he's getting advice to not do that, that his best strategy would be to actually focus more on issues, in particular the economy, the higher prices that people complain about, and to some degree immigration. I mean, those are issues that are going to be much better for him. but he does have a tendency to fall back, and particularly when he gets in large gatherings, he often falls back on kind of attacking personalities like IQ, as you noted earlier.
Right. Last week, we also saw a poll where actually voters were favoring Donald Trump when it comes to economy, immigration, border control. And these are very, very important issues when it comes to U.S. elections, especially the one we are going to see in November, which is being called one of the most polarizing ones. So do you think, as you said, 3 months is a long time in politics? This is something that could actually play in the benefit of Donald Trump?
Well, potentially. I mean, the Democrats still have their convention coming up, so they may get a little bit of a bump out of that. But then I think what will be really important will be the debates. And they've gone back and forth again, but it looks to me like September 10th is staying in as a debate date. That was one that was set before with Biden. And at one point, Trump said he wouldn't do it, but now I think he's saying he will do it. We will see. But I think those debates could be quite interesting because it will be Trump against someone quite different than Biden. And I think those those are probably the key events between now and the election that might kind of switch the momentum a little bit.
All right, Professor. Thank you so much for giving us all those insights from Boston, as always.
Okay, thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.